Okay, welcome everyone to Standards in Action. We've been running, I was reliably informed that these sessions, these Standards in Actions sessions, have been run within ISO TC11 for the past 25 years. So we're not quite on the 30-year anniversary that ISO TC211 is celebrating this year. And they are hugely important. Why do I think they're hugely important? It's because I think that a lot of the standards work that we do is very hidden. And we sit in committees and we talk about standards. We spend a lot of time making sure that we get them right and that they're fit for purpose. But a lot of people don't see that. They do expect to be able to integrate their EO data with their vector data. And they do expect a satellite to talk to their kettle and their toaster. Okay, but the expectation's there, but a lot of that work is hidden. So the whole point of these Standards in Action sessions are here to shine a light on that work. So you'll see from this range of presentations that we have today, every single one of them has some elements of, a lot of elements of different standards running right through it. So you can actually see the power. Usually when I go to sessions like this, I sit back and I think, well, if we didn't have standards, what would that presentation look like? You know, there'd be key things that would be missing, key bits of information exchange, key pieces of insight that we couldn't glean. So that's why they're important. Okay, so before I go any further, I would like to acknowledge our sponsors for this event, for today and for the whole week indeed. So they are Woolpert, Spark Systems, ICMS, which is the Intergovernmental Committee on Surveying and Mapping, and OREC Projects. So if we could acknowledge our sponsors, please. And again, that's important. We are very grateful of our sponsorship to allow this week to happen. Okay, we've got a really good program today for you. I'd love to stand up here and take credit for it because it is a really nice, very program. But it was nothing to do for me. You could probably detect that I come from a different part of the world. So thank you to Chris Boddy and the Standards Group here in Australia for getting this group of people together to discuss standards today. And Chris, I must thank you wholeheartedly because you managed to split it into three good sections. So first of all, before lunch, we're going to focus on policy and governance. We'll have 6 presentations, all of 20 minutes each. And then we'll break for some lunch. And then in the afternoon, we've got 4 presentations on the technology. And then we'll have a cup of tea. And then the final session, we will focus on use cases. And we've got 4 presentations on use cases. And there is a paper copy of the program around somewhere if you want to have a look. Okay, right. So I think before we go much further, we'll start on the first presentation. We do have 20 minutes per session, and the reason that we are limited in time is that we are connected to a Zoom call to allow our participants from around the globe, and I can see there's quite a few people online, so we do need to keep to time. So our first speaker is Mark Bowden. Mark comes from the Critical Technology Standards section at the International Trade and National Security Division, part of the Australian government. And his talk is entitled Critical Technology Standards, a Policy Overview from the Australian government. So, Mark,